views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney. Braxton, episode 28. It is Sunday, January 11th, doing our first NFL pregame show and postgame show, so a two-parter this Sunday for Woody Lou Sports and you. And I know you were very excited about a pre- and postgame show.
Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine to be a part of a pregame, postgame show. I'm curious if the postgame show will be episode 29 or it'll also be episode 28. But
Maybe episode 28 and a half.
I never thought my first pregame, postgame show would be on Woody Lou Sports and you talking about the Patriots and Wildcard Sunday.
What did you envision your first pre- and postgame as, like a competitor to KSR doing like a Kentucky like March Madness game?
So I can tell you my vision. It's very clear. So in Rep Arena, they used to have, I think they still have it. The Rep Arena is a mall. It's not just a stadium, right? It's like a 2 or 3 floor mall connected to it. And they used to do in the food court on the first floor at Rep Arena, they would do the pregame shows while people were getting their China Walk and their pizzas. And they stopped doing that. I don't know why, but in my vision, I brought that back, and I'm doing the pregame show over the loudspeakers while
in the
people
food court.
are getting they're getting their bourbon chicken samples. Yeah, that'd be me talking.
That's actually a pretty awesome dream. Hopefully one day you can
sick.
realize that dream. This is a start on Woody Lou Sports and you currently to no streamers right now. We have no one in the chat. I think we threw people off not only with our different showtime deviating from 8:30 Eastern, but I also got my time zones mixed up when I scheduled this YouTube live. So that didn't help our cause at all.
I have to send an emergency text message to Patsy because if she finds out we've gone.
Well, she'll have to stay up for the post game.
Oh wait, we got some people getting in now. Maybe I hope they hear my dream, because my dream is something that you'll be a part of. And
yeah, absolutely. All right, we got the Mad Hatter, Mr. Chris Lewis, number 1 in the chat. Miss Amy Lewis. Also, I don't know how we have 2 number 1 top fans, but that's awesome that they're sharing that.
And I'm glad they're my parents, and they'll be in the food court watching us do the pregame basketball shows one day in their Class C RV outside.
You'll definitely give a credential to the Mad Hatter and Miss Amy Lewis so they can get free bourbon chicken and egg rolls in the food court.
I don't think that place is open anymore, which is a real tragedy, honestly.
So I think we should first off, these NFL games, unlike the college football playoff, the NFL playoff wild card round, these games have been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, so Ole Miss in Miami was a good game. Kaylee was down in Orlando with the girls, so I was bacheloring it up. I watched the first quarter in the living room, transitioned to the bed, and by the fourth quarter, my eyes were hurting. But it was back and forth. Ole Miss's defense couldn't do enough, but Trinidad kept them in it, and Miami ended up pulling it out. So that was a goodish game. But then the Indiana was just too much for Oregon. The backups could have very well been in to start the second half. It was a drubbing, but wild card weekend's been great. The Panthers started us off strong yesterday. Really tough break for the Panthers. I thought, Bryce Young's able to get his first playoff win, but the Matthew Stafford, my LA Rams, who I called as early pick, got it done. And then last night with Caleb Williams and the Bears beating the Packers was a heck of a finish.
The Iceman. Hand up. I was pretty tired. I actually fell asleep before that game ended. I thought the Packers had it in the bag, and I woke up and couldn't believe that the Bears scored, I think it was 25 points in the fourth quarter to come back.
Yeah, I mean, unlike Big Cat from Barstool, who put a live $5,000 bet on the Bears to win, I don't have faith in comebacks from a guy with his fingernails painted like Caleb Williams, but boy, did he shut people like me up all across the country because he was throwing dimes out there. Defense showed up, and they were able to get it done.
Yeah, Ben John, he's legit. Ben Johnson, he is a
Did you
legit coach.
did you see all the beef about the Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur, the handshake at the end of the game with the back pat?
Oh, pretty what like a gruff handshake from Matt LaFleur. Might be his last game in Green Bay.
There was some drama there about how previously in the season there was a hard back pat as they're doing the I don't know. There was a lot of drama. I couldn't quite keep up with it. It seemed like a lot to do about nothing.
Sounds like WWE drama, which we'll get into. But first, I think we got to get to the pregame for the Patriots, and we're both sporting our Boston sports gear. I got my lucky polo, and I know you were running around southeastern Georgia all day trying to score yourself some Pats apparel to be a true fan tonight in what is the beginning of Drake May's probably decades of dominance of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any Patriots gear.
That's on me.
I
That's
have
on
this.
me. I should have
provided
provided you
you with
Patriots gear.
I provided you with ample amounts of Kentucky gear. But no. So after church, Kaylee and I went to Pooler in search for some Patriots gear and watched some of the Jaguars game at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I found some hats, but the hats just weren't good. And I'm a sucker for a hat, so that kind of shows
Yes.
you the quality of what I was dealing with. So I didn't even pull the trigger on one of the
I'm kind
hats.
of
So
curious, like where you went to try and get Patriots gear on a Sunday, like leading up to the game in southeastern Georgia.
obviously, I went to the Tanger outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they had New England Patriots like flat bills and lids, like the 59.50 flat bills that I couldn't do. And I found a one store that had collectible stuff. It was like a collectible store, and they had like 15 hats. And they were all the same 47 snapbacks, mesh snapbacks, but they looked like they were off-brand 47s. They looked like they were 49s or something. And for $33, I couldn't pull the trigger. But I did try to get something really cool. So I'm gonna tell on the Mad Hatter here.
Uh-oh.
So I vividly remember being like 7 years old, and my dad had a New England Patriots sweatshirt. I think it was blue. It could have been gray. I think it was blue with red writing, and it had like the old school New England Patriots guy on it, so New England Patriots. So I texted mom, and I was like, "Hey, does he still have it?" Because I was going to either drive to Charleston and get it, or meet
You
them
were gonna go
halfway
up to Charleston today?
to get the sweatshirt. Yeah, and she said no. He unconfirmed, but I think the leading story is he has given it away. And the only reason this is a story is because that was the first ever gift my mom purchased my dad as boyfriend and girlfriend, or married, or
Wow.
one of the two.
That's kind
And
of
he
shocking.
decided to get.
He decided to give that away. You definitely just outed him a
You wouldn't
little
think he
bit.
would get. You wouldn't think you'd do that, would you?
No.
So I wish I had that on. It'd been really retro. I've been over 30
Yeah.
years old.
That would have been really good luck for the Patriots. That would have been some serious
Mhm.
karma. Oh, I'm loving the Woody Lou Sports and You koozie. We got to start hawking our swag.
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, so no luck on the Patriots gear. But I mean, before we fully jump into it, we'll talk. I got to see Liam Cohen tried his hardest to make up for just terrible quarterback play and Trevor Lawrence and get them the victory over Buffalo. But Buffalo ended up snapping their 8-game on the road playoff lose streak down there in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was a good game. Yeah, he's another good coach, Liam Cohen. And I mean the Jaguars, they look good. Well, I wouldn't say good, but they against like the Bills, like established playoff team, lots of experience. Despite some poor play and poor decisions, I thought the Jags were going to get it done, but the Bills they eked one out, as the Bills do.
It looks scary. It's like Josh Hines Allen, Kentucky great. He had a blitz on Josh Allen with a couple of other guys involved, and it looked like he had hurt his shoulder, I believe. He had to go back to the medical tent, but it
Yeah, I
all worked
saw
out
that.
for him.
So speaking of injuries, I just got the latest inactive roster, and good news for the Patriots previewing tonight's game kicking at 8:15 Eastern in Foxborough. Good news is Harold Landry, he's active. Robert Spillane is active, as well as Kayshon Boutte, all active. So that's really good news for the Patriots, especially for the pass rush to get over or to get after Justin Herbert and that thin Chargers line. And then with Kayshon Boutte, we'll see if he's actually a factor. But I mean, just lining out at wide receiver, always a deep threat. So it should open up the running game a little bit more for the Patriots tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be exciting as a Patriots fan. This is your first home playoff game since 2019. So I was still in college the last time. I guess I was out of college. Recently graduated from college. Last time you guys were able to host a playoff game. First time without Billy B at the helm. So it's going to be a typical Foxborough Gillette Stadium postseason game. It's going to be what weather's in the 2020s.
Yeah.
It's going to be good weather for a Coach Harbaugh coach team. So I'm really interested to see how you guys are going to be able to stack up with that with the quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean, historically, when it comes to Pats-Chargers in the playoffs, I know there was a number of matchups between Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers, and the Chargers never could come out on top. Patriots, beat them every single time. And Justin Herbert, he has never won a playoff game, and we have Drake May's first playoff game. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good game. I mean, I don't think it comes necessarily down to talent, but who executes situational football, and who is able to convert on third down or make stops conversely on third down. That's gonna be the difference. I mean, that's in every game, but especially in this game where the Chargers have an excellent third down defense. Hopefully Drake May he can convert on those third and longs.
Yeah, I mean, before we get to the keys of the game, you got to be happy. You guys are 14-3, coming off two back-to-back 4-13 seasons. You got Coach Vrabel, Tennessee Titans legend. The prodigal son has came home, if you will, to Foxborough and led you guys to the playoffs. And essentially, this is Drake May's rookie season, for all intents and purposes. So he's got a rookie quarterback, and the reward you get is an 11-6, hungry, probably sketchy coaching methods from Los Angeles coming your way at 11-6. You guys are the favorites. I think the line that I used was 3.5. I'm not sure if that's what's going to close out, if it's moved.
It hasn't moved. It's been 3.5, since the matchup was scheduled last Sunday. And it's stayed at 3.5. Not sure if we'll get any movement, coming up to kick, but I think it's a real fair line.
Yeah, I mean, you guys average 28.8 points a game against a Chargers team that scores around 21 points a game. So it's about a touchdown difference on average. But when you get the weather involved, I think it all comes down to Justin Herbert's going to be the X factor for both teams. I think Justin Herbert's overall play is going to decide how this one goes and what type of game we're going to find ourselves in. I see some chatter in the chat, Dan. Can you start reading those off? So
Yeah, we got some. We got Gavin, go team. Appreciate it, Gavin. Not really sure which team you're rooting for, but Team Woody Lou Sports and you, we appreciate it. You got the Mad Hatter, have to find a plug-in. I don't know what that means. And he was then commenting on the New England Patriots. It was a blue sweatshirt, and he hand up is saying not his finest moment.
I mean, I'd like to know what year that happened, because I'm trying to think of the bravery for if I had like a coveted sweatshirt that Kaylee bought me as our first gift, like the moment where I look at her and saying, I'm ready to donate this to Goodwill.
I'm curious if it would have been in 1985. That was the Patriots' first Super Bowl appearance against the Mike Dick, Buddy Ryan led Chicago Bears defense, where they got absolutely thumped in that Super Bowl.
I don't know if they've answered it. If I was a betting man, so my dad, he lives for a yard sale.
Mm.
He when Chris Lewis hosts a yard sale, you'd think he's like selling cars and trying to hit his quota for the year. And I could see a situation where either it started out at the yard sale or things were going super well, and he started kind of making runs back into the inventory, if you will, and trying to move some merchandise. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the story behind it.
He's saying it was after they did Bledsoe wrong. So that leads me to believe that it was in like 2002 after Bledsoe almost died getting hit by Mo Lewis in, I think it was either week 2 or week 3 of the 2001 season against the New York Jets. And then TB12, he comes in and the rest is history. He got Wally pipped.
So from my memory, my dad's always been a Cowboys fan. So now I want to know from the Mad Hatter if he actually was a Patriots fan until Bledsoe was out and he decided to jump ship on the coming to be tied for most Super Bowl winning franchise and jumped over to the Cowboys. That'd be a heck of a story of luck for the Mad Hatter.
And then your mother is saying she bought it Christmas 1995.
Oh, man. I would have had a 30-year-old retro sweatshirt today.
That would have, again, I think that would have been great luck for my New England Patriots. No, it's fun. It's super fun that they're back in the playoffs. I was talking with another Patriots fan, and I mean, people are gonna get on me, probably in the chat, in the reels, whatever. I don't care. I'm spoiled, but it was growing up. It was just like setting your clock back, like on daylight savings, that the Patriots were in the playoffs and they were going to make the AFC Championship. We just took it for granted.
Yeah, and now you're back with just an opportunity to go on to the next round. I don't think it's guaranteed.
No, I don't think it's guaranteed either. But it's super, like, we should just be like happy as Patriots fans, like playing with house money right now, as far as turning around from a 4-13 season from the past 2 years to winning 14 games this year. But it's New England, it's Gillette, it's Foxborough, and we only care about Super Bowls. That's all we count.
Well, I feel vindicated too because you've loved to get me fired up and go on my Tennessee Titans rants. But if you just want to be honest, like this is just another prime example of why I had to break up with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, fair.
We made every stupid general managing move from a roster standpoint and allowed Mike Vrabel. We fired him. We didn't let him walk. We fired him just to fire our new head coach a year and a half in, and now he's first round of the playoffs.
It's
number 2 seed.
I like that you mentioned that, and that also you're wearing that hat. Now, I don't think I'd ever do this because I mean it's more than a common law marriage. It is like I can't quit them. But I'm thinking about breaking up with the Boston Red Sox after what this ownership and Craig Breslow are sitting on this pile of money. It's like they're friggin' Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, just like to swim in their vault of gold. Haven't spent a cent on an MLB like level caliber player in free agency, and Alex Bregman just signed with the Chicago Cubs. In that deal, there's no reason why the Red Sox couldn't have given a better or equal offer.
No, but the Red Sox came out immediately for damage control and argued that there was no reason Bregman shouldn't have accepted their 5-year offer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They immediately came out and said we offered him good money.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, I can't wait for baseball because when I get out of the field, so the next show I'm able to do is going to be full on baseball. But no, you can't leave the Red Sox. They got too much history.
I guess we're on to Bo Bichette. I don't know. This is like probably like all the girls I asked to prom. I was their 5th pick, so
you weren't anyone's 5th pick.
It's basically Bo Bichette is Dan Woodhouse at senior prom, Lexington High School, 2007.
Oh man, that's gonna be a great clip to play back whenever he wins a Gold Glove or Silver Slugger at
I hope
shortstop
so.
this
I
year.
hope so. He looks slick. He's a good looking kid, hell of a baseball player, but I'm just like, I don't know. I, I they have so much
At
money.
least you have a shortstop.
He ain't gonna do what he did last year. There's no way. He's probably gonna get hurt again and miss the entire season.
He was at least the fan favorite for the Braves to sign this offseason.
Who,
And
Bregman or
clearly that didn't
Story?
happen. Bo Bichette.
Boba Fett. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Henry, he sells his hockey team, Pittsburgh Penguins. You think maybe some of that money will go towards Red Sox free agency. $0, Braxton, is how much the Red Sox have spent. They are the only team that has not spent any money in free agency.
Now, Dan, let me ask you. Let me read you a stat here and tell me if it makes you nervous at all. We've already discussed that this is the first home playoff game at Gillette Stadium since 2019. On the season, the Patriots are 9-0 against the spread on the road. It's a 3.5-point spread. They're 5-4 at home against the spread. How's that making you feel?
Yeah, I mean they were pretty good road warriors this year. Doesn't make me feel great. I mean, I could easily see this game, being 1 or 2 points. So as long as I get the win, that's all that matters in the playoffs is the W. But no, I don't feel great.
Okay. I mean, this is a put up or shut up year for you guys because I think with Vrabel and the young talent you guys have a lot of. It's an interesting roster. So, for example, when I say by that is you got Marcus Jones on the defensive side of the ball, who's an Enterprise Wildcat alumni,
Nice.
Gavin Capart's classmate. So maybe Gavin can put in the chat some locker room stories from old Marcus Jones. But Marcus Jones comes out, goes to Houston, kind of played both sides of the ball a little bit, ends up going full defense, and he's an all-pro for you guys.
Yeah.
And then you got
Second
a rookie
team.
quarterback. You got essentially a rookie quarterback in Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, who's like people don't really think of as like a world beater. You're over here happy about Butte being activated. Bottom line is you guys have a pretty gritty team that Vrabel's been able to put together, which he thrives at. But I think success in the playoffs this year is good for your momentum, and you also have Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the bracket playing on Monday, and you guys and the Steelers are tied for most Super Bowl appearances. So I'd hate to see them leapfrog you guys, or when you have a golden opportunity to continue on with that championship mentality.
Steelers match up well. Texans are a good team too, but Steelers probably the team that matches up the best with them. I wouldn't be surprised by an upset. Steelers over Texans tomorrow night.
I mean, going back to my AFC South days with the Titans, the Texans I was never sold on the Texans. They have never convinced me. CJ under center back there, he's never really impressed me. So I wouldn't be surprised. We got some more chatter in the chat.
We do. We got a lot more chatter about basically vintage and meaningful items of sports apparel. Producer Kaylee, she has commented, think about the vintage Bobby Bowden I got you back in 2014. If you'd never gotten rid of that.
Okay.
And Lewis Man getting rid of prime team memorabilia. Care to comment, Braxton?
So it's very rich it's very rich for producer Kaylee, someone who has notably hosted bonfire events for burning the things I've gotten her. It's very rich for her to throw in. She bought me a Bobby Bowden hat that was like like the straw hat.
Oh, you got a straw hat?
But it was like it had the Bobby Bowden
FSU
Florida. Yeah, it was pretty clean, and I ended up parting ways with that. So that's fair. She can throw that in there if she wants. That's fair.
It's the Lewis men and just discarding their sentimental sports.
Now, if you want to get Mrs. Lewis fired up about sentimental sports ask her about all of my wrestling figures that I had, how much money I'd have in wrestling
Well,
figures.
were you able to read the chat? Because the Mad Hatter is
No, I'm
stoking
not
the
able to.
flames, and he did mention,
I can't see
and
the
this will
chat.
come up again, about the sale of wrestlers. So
That was a yard sale. He asked if I wanted to move some merchandise, and I said, let's do it. And I think Mom made me keep like 5 just so she could I couldn't fully get mad.
tell
She
us,
was really
tell
upset
us
about
more
that.
about these wrestlers. Like, what are we talking about?
I'll tell you what we're talking about. So I had a tri-stack pull-out thing. So like shelf, shelf, shelf.
Okay.
All 3 shelves were stacked with WWE action figures. I probably had, and my parents can fact check me on here, I want to say I was around 60 to 80 range, maybe more.
Wow. Now, were
I
these like
had
official, like WWE, like action
official.
figures, like like Milton Bradley, Mattel, like
it was the official. Typically, I bought them at Toys R Us or KB Toys, where you got the best ones. It wasn't. They had some like phony ones back in the day. These were legit. So I had all of those. I had probably 6 or 7 rings. I had the Raw ring, the SmackDown ring, the ECW ring. I even had the WrestleMania 3 replica ring, which was made out of actual cloth and had like legit turnbuckles with the cloth and the ropes. It was legit. My dad was telling me whenever he put that together for me, that was one of the hardest
how
things he's
big
ever
were
done.
those like replica rings?
So the Raw and SmackDown ones were kind of small. The replica ring was massive, and I even had the intro stand. So I had like the old school like SmackDown like entrance, and so I had the entrance with the walk through to the ring, and I used to get an old camera, VHS camera, and I would do the stop play videos where I would have them come
That's
out,
cool.
and then I'd run it back from the VHS, and it's like my hands weren't in it because it was the stop and play, and it took me a long time. But that's what me as the only child. That's what I was grinding on in the room. The door was shut. I was getting after it with my and I had storylines.
Doing your
It
own
was the whole thing.
promos.
I was cutting promos. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I just let it all walk at a yard sale
goodness.
for like a quarter.
And Matt Hatter saying could have hosted an event. That's how big these replica rings were. Producer Kaylee coming in from the comment line. We got a live sports update asking if the Eagles are about to lose. So 4th and 11 at the San Francisco 21. We got 43 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 49ers up 23-19. I don't have it live in front of me because when I've done that before, we've had a bad
You want me to play-by-play this for you real quick?
Please.
I can play-by-play this. We got Jalen Hurts in shotgun, Saquon to his left, A.J. Brown in motion out to the right, outside the numbers. Jalen Hurts takes a snap. He rears back. He throws into the coverage and is packed up by the 49ers. That's going to be a turnover on downs. The Eagles have 2 timeouts. 49ers will win their wild card matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's the game there.
That's a good. We got to cut that reel for your portfolio. Send that to Matt Jones.
Matt Jones. I can't stand Robert Saleh. He's out here like, okay, dude, Jalen Hurts threw it into quadruple coverage. He's acting like he threw it into triple coverage. And he got pass got. I mean, boom. That's a good play. I don't know why you're looking for a tight end there in the middle of the field. Robert Saleh is acting like he just won the Super Bowl.
Threw it into triple coverage from Kaylee. What was that? Is Kaylee big into it? It seems like a big Eagles fan. Oh, she likes Hurts.
So we were in Abercrombie today. I was looking because you know how Abercrombie has like the old school gear sometimes. That's the new thing they got now. So like maybe they have an old school Patriots shirt. They had nothing but Eagles gear. You could have gotten nothing but Eagles gear. You could have gotten any Eagles gear you wanted. That's it.
Oh, we got Miss Patsy talking about the wrestlers now, saying that she bought several of them herself. Wish you still had them. Wow, that cuts deep. Miss Patsy.
See, I was the easy kid to buy for because you could just like pop me 2 wrestlers and you just crushed, birthdays and Christmas right there. Like that was easy.
So you said you had over Walmart. Like 50, cleared 50 easy.
Oh yeah, I mean 50 is a benchmark. Yeah,
And they were
and
all
I
they
mean,
were all sold.
I think my mom kept like 6. I think she kept HBK. I had like variations. I had like the DX Shawn Michaels. I had
Hmm.
the 90s Shawn Michaels. I had like the 2007 Shawn Michaels. I think she kept like Eddie Guerrero. Um, I'm curious to know if she kept Chris Benoit, 'cause I really liked my Chris Benoit one, but that had a stigma by the time we sold those. Um, yeah, I'd be interested to know which one she kept.
And now, how much paper did you think you cleared at this yard sale, where basically your childhood was sold away from you?
Well, Dad was the salesman. He procured it from me at no cost, and I'm
So you saw none of this paper.
I mean, I'm sure, by just like providing, food, shelter, and
Yeah,
water to me, I saw it, but I don't
sure.
remember necessarily getting a cut. I don't think the Mad Hatter was cutting checks post yard selling those.
Oh, and then Miss Amy Lewis in all caps. I tried to keep them all with probably 7 L's.
I mean, she tried, but yeah, you know, I'm sure Dad like said, this will buy you a new baseball glove or something. And he coerced me, and we already know what WWE's done in my baseball career. I think my dad would argue WWE is the reason that, and I'm not getting ready for spring training right now. Like,
Well, speaking of WWE, we got about 13 minutes before I'm going to hop off to get ready to watch the Patriots. We want to talk about our next pay-per-view. In
yeah.
Your
So
House 13.
Live from Chattanooga.
That's right.
I liked. So I don't think people know this. The outside of the Royal Rumble and I think it was WrestleMania, the pay per views in between were in your houses, and they usually had like cute little names. So this one was Final Four because they had the Fatal Four Way for the vacated World Wrestling Federation Championship that Shawn Michaels had to vacate, given due to this is controversial. Half the people think he vacated it due to a knee surgery, and half of it thinks it was vacated because of his drug problem. I
Mm.
think there's slight truth to both, but kayfabe was a thing back in '97, so we don't really know. But yeah, the night was capped off with the fatal four way between Bret Hart, Stone Cold, um, The Undertaker, and Vader. With Bret Hart coming out victorious, and then Hunter Hearst Helmsley ends up coming out after that and defeating Bret Hart to get the WWF Championship. Notably, Hunter Hearst Helmsley had to vacate the Intercontinental Championship when he was defeated by Rocky Maivia earlier in the night.
Now
Wrestling at its purest.
I have some questions because we jumped in time between the 97 Royal Rumble and this pay-per-view event, which I think was in March. So
February.
February. Okay. So, excuse me. Didn't have the Raw episodes in the Raw Vault. So at what point did Shawn Michaels vacate his WWE championship that he won at the Royal Rumble?
It was like I think it was 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble.
Okay. Did he get hurt in the Royal Rumble or in that the pay-per-view event?
There wasn't a single point of injury, and this is why this is a disputed topic. It wasn't like he was, playing company football game and towards ACL, couldn't walk off so when he came out and he cut a super emotional promo with Vince McMahon, I think it was February 13th. So that would have been 2 or maybe 3. I think it was 2 weeks. So cuts a super emotional promo with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon notably holds the mic the whole time during this promo. Kind of weird. And he says, he's lost his smile. It was, I lost my smile. And he had to vacate it for, I think he was gone out of action till May or June. So a couple months. Some people say he got his knee fixed. I think he did get his knee fixed, but he had a drug addiction. I think he
Sounds like
was
he got
kind
his
of
nose
pushed out.
fixed too.
Yeah, because this is before his notable change into finding himself in Christianity in the early 2000s. But he was a cancer in the locker room. People outside of kayfabe has noted on that. So I think he was probably asked to get his act together for a little bit.
Mhm. And my understanding is that initially this In Your House Final Four it was the last four from the Royal Rumble, and it was meant to decide who would be the top title contender at WrestleMania.
Against Psych
Again, yeah, right, against
for
Psycho
Psycho
Sid
Sid.
because of the controversy of the Royal Rumble of Bret Hart throwing Stone Cold off over the top ropes to eliminate him, but he still wins the Royal Rumble. And it was a decision that, yes, he's the Royal Rumble champ, but that doesn't mean he's the contender at WrestleMania.
I mean, and I hate that, Dan, because we could replay that fourth down attempt by the Eagles, and you could probably have found a illegal hand to the face by the defense or a defensive pass interference on the far side of the ball that didn't get called. And so, though the referee didn't see that infraction to call the infraction, the play still remains that the 49ers made the stop. So it's hard for me to make the connection of how Stone Cold did anything wrong throughout the Rumble, and he won it fair and square in my eyes.
A Stone Cold apologist. What I really enjoyed too, I mean, it was a bunch of great matches. And for me, like watching like a lot of these, like, WWE legends in their prime, 'cause I did not watch, any of these events live at the time. And the tag team matchup between team of Owen Hart and the British Bulldog against Doug Furness and Phil LaFawn, and just the drama between Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. That was a very, very entertaining tag team matchup that ended in a disqualification.
Yeah, I mean those were the days where your undercard still brought you a lot of heat, and we don't quite see that. So before we kind of close up with NFL talk,
Mhm.
this will be my last two shows before I go to the field for a while. So the next time you guys come live with the Mad Hatter, assuming he's still good to go on that, I'm excited for the Mad Hatter and my mom to be sitting in their house pulling up WrestleMania 13 and watching that, so he's ready to discuss on the next show.
Oh, we're gonna get just eviscerated by the the real wrestling podcast hardos. I have no idea what I'm talking
you know,
about.
but yeah, I mean, I also watch WrestleMania 13, but hopefully Dad can carry it on. I'm gonna tell you this, Dan. I don't know if you have it pulled up. I have the show or the game pulled up right now, and it looks cold, a different type of cold.
Up in Boston.
Yeah, I think Tony Dungy is going to possibly just like turn into an ice cube on the sideline. He's going to turn into ice on the 15-yard line right now.
Yeah, that's football in Gillette in January. It's cold.
Dan, I'm fired up because I'm going all in on the Patriots just because of you, because I'm going to support my co-host. I'm fully committed to go all in on the Patriots. I hope Justin Herbert plays the absolute worst football he's ever played tonight. I hope his cold little hands just are unable to grasp
his
the
broken
leather
hand. That's going to be. I think it's going to be a difference maker. I do think that there's going to be Justin Herbert is going to turn the ball over, and hopefully the Patriots can capitalize on those turnovers.
Yeah, but I'm supporting him. I don't have a Patriots hat, but I got a Boston hat, and I think I'm really just paying homage to the Boston Patriots of the 1960s, which paved the way for our current day Patriots. And I'm actually playing chess.
They did play in Fenway Park.
Not to be confused with the Boston Bulldogs. I'm talking the Boston Patriots. So
Boston Bulldogs.
The Boston Bulldogs were the first football team to play in New England. So
also had the Boston Redskins. That's where the Washington football team originated.
The Boston Commanders, great organization they were. But so a couple just notes. We got some time here. I don't want to think you need to rush off, Dan, unless you have a date that's coming up upstairs.
No,
but
no dates.
Is the Chargers run the third most too high safety coverage in the league? Is that making you nervous at all with Drake May's availability to throw the ball in the cold weather and maybe seeing ghosts out there on the field.
I'm concerned. Yeah, this is probably the coldest game Drake May has played in. I'm curious if he's going to take one out of Tom Brady's playbook and wear a wetsuit underneath his uniform. Brady would do that in like the Arctic frigid games. So we'll see.
I had a Brady moment with the wetsuit in the Army one time.
Let's hear
And I
about
got
this. You wore a
I
wetsuit.
no, so I was a cadet in Fort Jackson, and we had a 12-mile ruck, and it was a field problem in like February. And so anyway, we had to wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, do this 12-mile because we were going home back to Charleston that day. And they said, "Hey, no snivel gear allowed. I don't care how cold you are." And so
Really afraid of heat catting.
And so I wore my silk top and bottoms and my waffle top and bottoms because I was cold. And I was like, "That's stupid. I'm cold. I'm going to dress up for this." And anyway, so we rucked to the 6-mile turnaround, and you got a little stick. And when I went to get my stick, I went to grab my stick, and this captain didn't give me my stick. He held on to it, and he pulled me into him. And he said, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "My OCPs." And he grabbed my collar, and he said, "What's this?" And I said, "Cold weather gear." And he said, "You're taking that off right now, and you'll be lucky if I don't kick you out of the Army department when we get back to school." And I said, "Roger." So I got to keep the pants. He didn't check my pants.
You were wearing silk and waffle bottoms
and top, yeah.
How cold was it?
I mean, it's probably like 30.
That's not cold.
So that's cold.
You were wearing?
That's cold for me.
Oh my god.
I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even be an officer right now. He said he's going to kick me out of the program. Survive that.
He did. I wonder where that captain is now. He's probably a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah, he's probably at the house.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know.
They were really concerned about you cadets of the Citadel heat catting, huh?
I'm stronger than that. You got any more comments in the chat? I'd get these people
we got Kaylee, producer Kaylee. Thank you. Looked up the weather in Foxborough. 36 feels like 29. That's not too bad. Tony Dungy, he's pretty soft. He played indoors and in Tampa as a coach. I guess he played for the Eagles. That was in his younger days.
Well, we're going to do score predictions, but I have a bigger picture prediction for you before we sign off, Dan. Do the Patriots make it 7 Super Bowl wins this season?
AFC is wide open. No, actually, it's kind of nuts. There's no Josh Allen, no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. Actually, no, there's Josh Allen. Sorry, Josh Allen won. My mistake. Josh Allen's
still here.
Still there.
I'm watching the highlights right now. He ended victorious.
So, you know what? Yeah, I think the Patriots are gonna bring home banner 17. Or sorry, yeah, banner 7, not 17. Whoa, that'd be awesome. Banner 7, but Matt Stafford is gonna be your MVP.
Okay, I can buy that. So you got Patriots, Rams.
No, so Matt Stafford's gonna win NFL MVP. Okay. On the other side of the Patriots, oh man. Yeah, Patriots Rams rematch.
I like that. I like that too. That's who I got since I'm riding with the Patriots. Now I got another question before we get to our score predictions, Dan. You're doing dry January 30 days straight.
Yeah, you're bad influence. You're trying to get me to drink Guinness with you, and I'm really trying to be good about drying out this January. I got my no free ads, but athletic beer, non-alcoholic. Yeah, what's up with that, Braxton?
So my question is, since we on record we think the Patriots are going to Super Bowl, on the post-game show tonight, which will air 10 minutes after the Patriots game concludes, if they lose, will you drink your sorrows away with me as I try to survive this Patriots loss.
Oh, it's your first Patriots postseason.
It's my first Patriots postseason.
No. I'm being disciplined.
All right.
I'm standing strong. I'm gonna do 30 consecutive days. I know we talked last time about borrowing days and people borrow days. So if I wanted to drink today, I theoretically could borrow, like, I don't know, February 6th. And I won't drink on February 6th, and my dry January is still intact. But I'm doing 30 days straight.
Now, chat, if for some reason we're in a close ball game and they trot out the field goal unit and there's a last second field goal that seals the Patriots' fate in the wrong direction, I'm going on record to say that he will have something that doesn't read 0.0 in his glass on the postgame show tonight.
Oh, it's so bad, dude.
That's
I have some leftover like Shinerbach from before I went home for Christmas.
great
Every time
beer.
I open the fridge, they're just staring at me. That little ram.
All right, Dan. I think it's going to be you got a great defense going up against a solid offense tonight. What's your score prediction?
Score prediction. I'm going to go with Patriots 31, Rams. Or sorry, I got Rams on the mind.
Who are they playing? Playing Chargers.
They're playing the Chargers. LA. That's an okay confusion. Patriots 31, Rams 28. Chargers 28.
If the Rams score 28 tonight, there gonna be some tired Rams when they go play next game.
Both teams in LA now.
Okay.
It's confusing.
Dan, I'm gonna give you a very confident 24-21. Patriots go on to the next round.
Okay. Don't cover. So are you betting Chargers?
I'm not betting because it's illegal in the state of Georgia.
That's right.
But yes, if you want to do a Braxton's bet of the week for Wildcard Sunday, it's going to be a parlay of the Patriots money line with the Chargers spread. And if you wanted to get real fancy, that 24-21 is going to get you at 45 points, which would also be, I believe, the under.
I got them at 45.5 over under right now.
Okay,
maybe
so
the
over under. I had them at 43.5. So depending on your bet, you can throw that on there. Get you a 3-legger. It'll be a good time, and then we'll go on from there. And I can't wait to get back in here tonight. About 10-15 minutes after the game, we'll rehash. And please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and text all your friends to tune in tonight because it'll be my last show until I get done training to defend everyone's freedom around.
Hopefully, Braxton doesn't get Wally pipped by the Mad Hatter talking about Bledsoe.
Yeah, so he wants to talk about. So if I get Bledsoed by Tom Brady, make sure you all stop watching because that's what the Mad Hatter would do. So become a Cowboys fan.
All right.